That wasn't this track. All right, let's talk about Sarkisian. All right, he's coming in Atlanta. I was there in L.A. He has the demons. He drank himself out of the USC job, that ridiculous
and the Washington job.
And the Washington job where he's up in front of the fans. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So he's apparently in control of his demons. He gets this huge, high-profile job now, offensive coordinator for Atlanta. What do you think about Sark, dude?
I know I might be in the minority here. I love the hire. I absolutely love the hire. Reason number one, that was their guy. Atlanta knew for weeks that Kyle Shanahan was out the door. He was going to leave. They targeted Steve Sarkisian. He was at camp. Everybody knew that, last spring, last summer. Forget about that. Dan Quinn called Sarkisian Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, and said, we want you here, we need you here. What does that tell you? That tells me that was their guy. He got Pete Carroll's ringing endorsement. Chris Peterson, who took over his job at Washington, said Steve Sarkisian was the best play caller he ever went up against.
Sure.
And he also, remember, Dan Quinn was on Nick Saban's staff with the Dolphins in 05-06.
Right.
They had spoken. I mean, Sark has, obviously, the alcoholism. That's something he's talked about, he's addressed. He's only 42 years old. He mirrors so many things that Kyle Shanahan wants to do. Zone blocking, get Matt Ryan outside the pocket, move the pocket, play action, aggressive. It's very similar with his own twist, but I thought it was a great hire and one that I think probably will take a little time for people to come around on. But once they realize that Steve Sarkisian is a lot of the same things that Kyle Shanahan is, that's a big plus for the Falcons.
Yeah, now as explosive as they were offensively and even defensively, the Falcons, they need to address some things in free agency. And there's a couple of names that come to mind. Dwight Freeney.
Sure. Is he going to retire?
Is he going to retire? Is he going to stay? I want to get your opinion on that. And then also Taylor Gabriel.
Yeah.
Does he deserve to get paid? I'll give you my opinion, but I think everybody knows. I think he should get paid. But he's proven his worth. I want to know about those two guys in particular.
I agree. I'll start with Freeney. I think that's the biggest, or maybe the biggest thing on the pass rush side. Because if they need another pass rusher regardless, I think. Freeney has played, he's 36 years old. He's played almost 291 games. I just look at him and it's like, I don't know, even if he does come back, how much more he has left in the tank. I think it'd be great to bring him back and keep tutoring Vic Beasley, and that's a nice plus. But regardless, I think they need another pass rusher. They have $24 million in cap. They can go out and get somebody. The bigger one for me is Taylor Gabriel, because he was their X factor.
He had a great Super Bowl, too.
He had a great Super Bowl. Nobody could guard him. He was unstoppable at times this season. We talked about him being like a Tyreek Hill for them. 18% touchdown rate, which was the best in the league. And he was undrafted, cut by Cleveland. Great story. They love him in Atlanta, but they also recognize that he's going to get paid by someone, whether it's them or somebody else.
Right.
And you know what? The whole thing of like being undersized in the NFL, that doesn't really matter anymore. Speed kills. GMs love speed. You saw what he did.
Allen Iverson.
Malcolm Butler. Yeah,
and
he has great hands. He's a young guy. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to be back in Atlanta, but that's the biggest one for me that nobody's talking about from a wide receiver perspective.
You guys are the insider. You guys have much more information when it comes to players, free agency, and what they do in the front office. But one thing you got to keep your eye on is Kyle Shanahan, who brought in Taylor Gabriel to Atlanta. He's now gone. They need some weapons in San Francisco.
They certainly do.
Just keep your eye on Kyle Shanahan courting Taylor Gabriel to be in the San Francisco.
Yeah, and he was tied with him on touchdowns with Julio Jones. That's how good he was in the red zone and big plays.
Go ahead.
I would just quickly say that the Atlanta offense brings back every offensive lineman.
Yes.
They bring back Julio Jones. They bring
both running backs.
Sanu. They're loaded. The X factor is the man you said, Sark. And I don't know if it's a good hire.
And you said
I don't know. We'll see.
They struck gold. You struck gold in your article on Huffington Post.
I did.
Everybody should go and read.
Yeah, let me close. When Sark took over Washington, they were winless. They won 5 wins, 7 wins, 3 years in a row. They got to 9 wins. That's a head coach. That's college. That's different. But he called plays there. He's going to call plays in Atlanta with a ton of weapons. Julio Jones. For me, this is a great hire because of that, and because he's hungry, he's motivated.
Big shoes to fill.
We'll see what happens. Great stuff from
Thanks, guys. I
Schultz. We
appreciate
love
it.
having you here at the breakfast table.